But for people who are struggling just now, I noticed a big thing they struggle with. It's when you ask them to change, it goes against their identity. You know, they're no longer the chubby joker, the tall, lanky kid. You know, it's the image they portrayed for themselves. How do we start chipping away at that? You know, that's who I am, and change the story to become the success you want to be.
Yeah, and again, that's a really deep question when it comes to helping someone change their identity. Um, and you're right. In fact, a lot of times people they fear change because sometimes their identity is also the excuse that they use to rationalize why things don't work for them. And so here's the thing, and I've
Mhm.
dealt with this. I mean, time and again with so many clients. Say they're dating someone and that person breaks up with them, and they go, "Well, they broke up with me because I'm overweight." What happens when you're not overweight? Then they actually have to deal with, well, it happened maybe because they weren't right for me. They simply did not like who I am. And again, these are difficult
Mhm.
conversations to have. But the thing is, a lot of times, well, I didn't get the job because look at me. And so it's difficult for people to actually sometimes take ownership of, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's simply you weren't qualified. Maybe who knows? It could be a bunch of different things. Changing the identity of someone, again, it's not something that just happens like that. In some cases it has, but those cases are very, very rare. It is just like any journey. It is just one small step at a time. And the way that I've always approached that with my clients, I've just always said, well, who do you want to be? And they will, well, I want to be, I want to be a kickboxer. I want to be a great dad. I want to be, I want to be a good husband. I want to be, well, you are right now. Like you could be that right now. You just simply have to live into it. But then here
Mhm.
comes that belief thing again. So how do we get there? How do we, and if you don't mind, I'm actually going to go back about 5 minutes to something that you said. You said, you make a lot of commitments, and then sure enough, come 2 days from now, that commitment's out the window. You don't keep your word to
Yep.
yourself.
Mhm.
Ian, that is the root of transformation. So can I tell you a little story? And this is one of the greatest lessons anyone could ever learn. Anyone who's listening right now, if you want to change your life, I'm going to just lay it all out for you right now. I'm going to give you the formula because what I do is not special by any stretch of the imagination, but I will speak to just the deep inner workings of how we work behaviorally, spiritually, emotionally. And look, every transformation, if you really want to change your life, it's all rooted in one thing. And that word is integrity. Look, here's the story. And a lot of people are like, hey, how do you do what you do? How do you help these people lose 200 pounds in a year? How do you help them like literally just love themselves and start, feel like they can just run through walls and they start businesses and they can do all these different things? I say, here's how it goes. We actually, right off the bat, we bring, I'm going to give you like a little bit of secret behind the show or behind the method to the madness. Well, we'll actually do 15, 20 transformations at a time, and in one fell swoop we'll bring everyone to one location, sit them all down, and typically there's 40 to 50 people there that are looking to transform, and I'll stand up there in front of the room, and what I say right off the bat, it rubs everyone the wrong way, and I say, you are all here because you do not have any integrity. And you can imagine how that lands with a lot of these people. They're like,
Mhm.
excuse me, and a couple of people they'll get up and start walking out the door and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me explain. Look, I'm sure that you all have integrity with other people. Like Gary, if you tell Joe that you're going to show up tomorrow at noon, you're probably there, what, 11:58, right? And Mary, if you tell Susan that you're going to pick her kids up from soccer practice at 5, you're there, right? Yeah. Well, why don't we try this then? Everyone have a seat. Why don't we try this? I just want to see a show of hands. How many of you have said to yourself, the diet starts Monday? And everyone goes, oh. How about 2018? This is my year. Or 2019. Here we go. This is it. This is going to be the turning point. How about 2020? How about I'm gonna set my alarm early Monday morning, 5 o'clock. I'm gonna do 45 minutes of cardio, and then you hit snooze the whole time. So to clarify this whole thing, it's not that you don't have integrity with other people. You don't have integrity. You're sitting here, and most of you, you're struggling. You're at the darkest level of your life, and it shows. The inside shows on the outside, because you're 400 or 500 pounds right now, and you're coming to me for help. You're here because you don't have any personal integrity. You have no integrity with yourself. You spend so much time focusing on fulfilling your commitments to other people, but you never fulfill your commitments to yourself. And if you had, you wouldn't be sitting here in the first place. I'm looking out here at this room of 40 to 50 people, and I don't see on each of you, I don't see 200 pounds of extra body fat. I see 200 pounds of broken promises. And if you learn that, look, transformation, physical transformation, look, yeah, we use diet and exercise as a vehicle, the physical vehicle to get there, but it has nothing to do with it. Physical transformation is all rooted in keeping your commitments to yourself, breaking it down to one single promise. And that's when it goes back to what I was saying about biggest mistake people make is overcommitting. They go, okay, I'm ready for physical transformation. I'm going to drink a gallon of water tomorrow. I'm going to measure all my 5 meals. I'm going to dial in all my macros. I'm going to do 45 minutes of cardio. I'm going to do an hour in the gym. Whoa. You just took on something that's so unattainable. Only 1% of the population can actually do it. Can actually has the time to do what you just said you're going to do. And you think you're going to come running out those doors and do that? Because guess what? When you say that, you're making commitments to yourself. And what you're doing is, it's almost like signing a contract with your soul. And people don't realize that. When you say you're going to do something, whether you say it out loud or you say it in here, it doesn't matter. Integrity is integrity, especially personal integrity. And when you're doing that, you are signing a contract with your soul. And if you keep that contract, you are rewarded with esteem and confidence and belief in yourself. With really, at the end of the day, what it's all about is happiness and feeling good about yourself and loving yourself. But if you break that contract, what happens? You lose belief in yourself, negative self-talk. Ultimately, you start to hate yourself. And I look out there and I say, Joe, how do you feel about yourself? Well, I hate myself. Gary, how do you feel about yourself? Look at me. I'm a disappointment. I hate myself. You want to know why? Because you broke promise after promise after promise after promise. You signed all these contracts with yourself and you broke them. So now, if you want to change your life forever, then you are going to learn to be a promise keeper to yourself, and you make a promise and you keep it, and then you keep it and you keep it and you keep it. And we're going to do this day after day after day after day until the treadmill and that salmon salad, they don't matter anymore. The most important thing is you keeping the commitment to yourself. And when you keep that commitment to yourself, you're going to do the time on the treadmill. You're going to eat the salmon salad, but it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what's happening in here. And when you say it, when you understand that you're gambling, when you say you're going to do something, you're gambling with the most important thing in the world. So don't you dare make a promise that's so big that you cannot keep it. It shouldn't even be questionable. So Ian, when you're going to start your transformation, I guarantee if you don't keep it, you made the biggest mistake in the world and you overcommitted. You have to shrink it down to something. You got to say, look, I'm just going to drink an extra quart of water today. That's my commitment to myself. Do that day after day after day. Do that for 7 days straight. If you can do that for 7 days straight, I will allow you to make another commitment to yourself until you start to get it, until you start to realize it's not about the water, it's about the commitment. And my job as a coach is to keep you winning. And as long as you keep winning, your esteem and your belief in yourself will keep growing and growing and growing. And month after month, in 3-4 months, I go, Ian, all right, here we go. It's gonna be 30 minutes of cardio. You're gonna drink 2 extra quarts of water a day, and then you're gonna hit your calories today. You go, I'll do that. I will do that. Or you know what, Chris? It's too much. Let's go ahead and take out the calories. I'll do 2 quarts of water and I'll do 15 minutes on the treadmill. Okay, cool. Hey, I get it, because you understand you're not going to gamble with the most important thing in the world, and that's your word. It all boils down to your word to yourself, personal integrity. That's the game changer. That's the secret to transformation right there.